Hi, my name is Roshni, and for the purposes of assessment task 2 quality books, I choose to share my book, The Best Pet, written by Nigel Gray and illustrated by Shane Nagel. I chose this book specifically because my 4-year-old focused child, Isaac, loves animals and he's an enthusiastic participant of show and tell sessions, which is a relatable concept to the plot in this story. So, this narrative is a contemporary, realistic, fictional story that encourages dialogic reading and it offers a lot of opportunities for that as well. Prior to doing the activity with Isaac, I did my research by reading the prescribed textbook from Fellows and Oakley. I got a lot of information from the additional readings as well. For example, the crowd technique by Roscoe et al., encouraging co-constructive approach as stated by Dickinson, and Flynn's article, which speaks about how you can support and guide the child's progress as they go from level 1 to level 3 of dialogic reading by using distancing prompts and asking open-ended questions. So I can show you some of the illustrations here, why they are so age appropriate and why it provokes interest. And as you can see, it captures a lot of movement as well. There are lots of characters in here from a variety of background and culture. There are new words that have added onto the vocabulary, which enhances the educational value, like this word here, sniggered, and it has a lot of scope for using intonations as well. Now, how I introduced the book was that I invited Isaac over and I said, "Hey, Isaac, what do you think this book is about?" Animals. Excellent. I also think it's about animals. The title of the book reads The Best Pet. Yes, that's a question mark. Good observation. And do you remember the name of the person who writes the words in the book? Yes, author. The author of this book is Nigel Gray. And what's the name of the book person who draws the pictures? Illustrator. Yeah, the illustrator of this book is Shane Nagel. So the title, the author, and the illustrator is also shown on the spine of the book. Okay, and here in the back you have a bit of a blurb here which will tell you what the story is about. So let's read the story. Herbert lives in an upstairs unit where no pets are allowed. All his classmates have pets, all kinds of pets, but Herbert had no pets at all. And worst of all, his class was to have a bring a pet day. Herbert's dad comes up with a crazy solution. Do you want to know what the crazy solution is? Let's have a read. So we revisited this book over a course of 2 days, and the responses that Isaac said when we reached this page have been highlighted. This told me that he understood and comprehended what the story was about. When I read this page, I did a completion prompt as stated by Roscoe et al. I said, "Mom ran round to the back of the van and opened the doors. Out jumped!" And with the gesture and that intonation, that completion prompt was so good in eliciting a really good dramatic moment. And Isaac yelled out, "Gorilla!" So that was a really good moment. So also he one of the statements he said at this page was, "I wonder what the pig is doing." So I asked Isaac, "Where is the pig?" To which he said, "Behind the gorilla." I said, "Why do you think that's a pig?" And he said, "Because of the swirly tail and the pointy ears." So I reminded him how Jing had a dog and it's a pug. And we had this conversation about pug and pig, the similarities, three alphabets, the first and the third being the same, and the phonemes involved and all that. So it was really a really good, I guess, conversation to have. Now, open-ended conversation questions that I asked him, his responses and my reflection on the same have been listed here. Because of a lack of space, I have not written down the outcome as such. The first and the second question here that is linked to outcome number 1, which is children have a strong sense of identity. These 3 questions are linked to outcome number 4, children are involved and confident learners. The last question and this 4th question here, they are linked to outcome number 5, which is children are effective communicators. I did a lesson plan prior to doing the activity, and I decided to do creative dramatics with puppetry, the benefits of which has been stated by Routledge and Dickinson as well. And I thought it was really appropriate for this specific age group because it definitely brings out a lot of their imagination and nurtures their language in addition to supporting their expressive body language and nurturing the vocabulary expansion. But the extension did not quite pan out the way I wanted it to, because the children didn't want to make puppets. They wanted to use the manufactured puppets that was in the indigenous home animal corner. So we had a pet Tasmanian devil, a pet kookaburra, and a pet koala bear. But the creative dramatics was really good though. Yes, for Isaac, this book was very much suitable because he did love animals. But for future books, I would definitely choose ones with alliteration, rhyme, and rhythm.